everybody. It's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to a very special episode of the Flyersguys Top 10. I'm your host, Timmy Flyersguy. And in today's episode, I have officially hit 100 episodes here on the Flyersguys Top 10. It's truly an honor and truly a pleasure to make it to 100 episodes on this series. I started this series back in 2023, and I've been doing this series ever since that time. So in today's episode, to commemorate my 100th episode, I'm going to be doing a double countdown here on this episode. First, I will be counting down my top 10 favorite moments on YouTube, and then I will be counting down my top 10 favorite countdowns I've done on this series. So without further ado, let's get right into these double countdowns.
And on to the postseason. The tango still commencing. The six outs from the Royals bench and claps from the faithful. Raining down from the stands. Ready delivering with 2 wins this weekend.
Way to go, Royals!
And a
Way to go!
message
Playoffs!
on the arena
Let's go, Royals!
as it's time to let the Cats know in Quebec.
They're in the
The
playoffs!
Mighty Royals are roaring into the Kelly Cup playoffs.
Alright, that's good. Thanks, right.
Bobby Keith Petrozelli, who backs up 2 must-win.
It's time to get the orange t-shirts out. It is time to rally the Valley tonight as the Lehigh Valley Phantoms will be in action. That's right, folks. It is playoff time. And this Phantoms team is fired up. The fans are fired up. I'm fired up. Melvin's fired up. Bob Roshrock is fired up. And the city of Allentown, you're damn right that they're fired. That they're fired up. They're ready to go. And they're ready for some playoff hockey. Let's go Phantoms! Rally the Valley! Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to the last episode of the Orange and Black recap of the 2024-2025 Philadelphia Flyers season. Decided to not do an intro for this one, but I will have an outro at the end of this video. An outro is a song that's perfect to describe the end of the season. Last night, the Philadelphia Flyers faced off against the Buffalo Sabres in the final game of the 2024-2025 Philadelphia Flyers season. Buffalo got off to a 2-0 lead. The Flyers, they got one back. It was Matvei Mishkov who gave the Flyers with the first goal. We got the Flyers on the board. It was 2-1 after that. Buffalo had another goal, and it was 3-1. 3-1 going into the second period. Buffalo added another goal, and it was 4-1. Flyers got their second goal from Matvei Mishkov. That was his second goal of the game from Mishkov. Then after that, Flyers were able to get another goal last night. And it was Tyson Forrester who gave the Flyers another goal. It was 4-3. Saved Buffalo. Going into the third, Buffalo thought they scored a goal to make it 5-3. The goal was waived off due to goaltender interference. And then Flyers pulled the goalie for the extra attacker. Buffalo cashed in on the goal, and it was 5-3 Buffalo. Flyers narrowed the gap again, and it was Bobby Brink who got the fourth goal for the Flyers. It was 5-4 Flyers. Tried to tie it up, but Buffalo was able to hang on with a 5-4 victory. It was a tough loss, especially since it was the last game of the season. But we asked for a good effort at the end of the season, and that's what the Flyers gave us. That's what the Flyers gave us. They gave us a great effort. They lost the game, but more importantly, they move up in the draft lottery at fourth place, so not too bad. So tough loss for the Flyers, but they really showed a lot of heart, especially in the last game of the season. And you never really think that the last game of the season is going to be that eventful, but it was. It was a very close game for the Philadelphia Flyers. They deserved a better outcome, but still they tried their best last night. They went out there and showed a lot of heart, and they gave a good showing in the last game of the season. My thoughts about this season is it was a season that started out promising. Well, it started out very slowly, but it's in mid-season, things started to get promising for the Philadelphia Flyers. So many great moments this season, and so many not so great moments this season for the Flyers. I gotta tell you, they played great, but once they got into the second half, then after the Four Nations break, the Flyers they just started to struggle. Winning only about maybe 1 or 2 games after the Four Nations tournament, and then they go into March as a complete downfall for this team. Couldn't even buy a win in the month of March. John Tortorella ended up getting fired. Bradshaw took over, and the Flyers team really started to play a lot looser in the final month of the season, which was April. Either way, this team really had some character this year. They had some colorful players. They had some great moments. And the young Russian talent impressed many people this season. Getting Matvei Mishkov was a godsend for this hockey team. Although the way every day.
Thank you. Thank you. Because, a lot of people don't realize that you have to vote like every day, or like you don't have to, obviously, but you get one free vote a day. And then that unlocks a picture that I have hidden, which I'm sure you are seeing.
Yeah.
They are very sexy. And so the hidden pictures are a little more risque, but so I entered this contest. And I really didn't think anything. Nothing was going to happen. I didn't think I would, but I just kept winning. Like, I beat out like 59 girls, and I'm like, what is happening? And then every round, there's 3 different competitions: Icon, Hot Girl Summer, and Cover Girl. And what they're looking for is someone authentic, someone themselves, someone unique to kind of move into the future. And I felt like maybe that could be me. I am not a typical person, and I've always been a very eccentric. So yeah, it's, I decided to target Philly sports. Not a target, but because I am such a huge fan, I made a Phillies costume because I was like, oh, Philly season is coming up, and I just did the Eagles one. So I was like, all right, well, I'll make the Phillies costume, and that's the picture that I ended up submitting for the main competition. I still can't really wrap my head around this whole thing. It's like blowing my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I keep winning. But the reason I'm doing that is not just for myself. It is not, I don't really care. I don't want to be like famous or really rich. My dream is to really just have like a little tiny cabin in the woods and paint. But so I also practice transcendental meditation. I'm very, very passionate about mental health support. And as someone who was stuck in bed for months and months and months on end with Lyme disease, and I couldn't walk. I was not able to walk. I lost all my muscle mass. I had to, so the meditation and that mindfulness and my ability to accept my situation and live my life fully despite the pain and the suffering, and to just accept that, is really where things started to click for me. So as a mental health advocate, I am seeing, and I think we are all seeing in this world, a lot of people suffering, right? There is so much suffering. It is so much pain.
Yeah.
And so I am trying to reach out to the world, to the communities of people that maybe were not given the tools to understand their feelings, to process their pain, their suffering, and to instead of turning that into anger and frustration, but to embrace your reality and to make the best of your life as it is. And that's very Buddhist. Life is suffering. Once you accept that life is suffering, you're at peace, because then you can live your life in that place. And one of the reasons, so with sports fans, I think that's a lot of men. That's a lot of men, and Philly, we get such a bad rap. And I'm like, people don't understand us, right? They just don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't understand that we're so nasty to the other teams, because we love our guys. We love our team, and we love them passionately, to the point where we become maybe a little vulgar towards the other teams, you know? And I am one that will embarrass you at a game, because I'm very, very loud and obnoxious. I am a Philly kid, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm some elegant queen here. I still eat like a truck driver and wipe my mouth with my hands. So
I saw you were at the game yesterday. And what were your thoughts?
Yes, on Saturday it was great. It was I've not been, we don't have a lot of money, and I was never raised with, we never got to go to games when I was a kid. I never, ever. That was like not something,
Yeah.
I mean, we would have to make our own popcorn to go to the movies like once a year. Like it was just, so being given that opportunity, this was my first Flyers game, if you can believe it, because I get to pick maybe one game every 2 years,
Yeah.
and so this was my first Flyers game, and I had a blast. And I don't care that we lost. I don't. I know that a lot of Flyers fans do. But for me,
Yeah.
winning and losing isn't about everything, because you're going to have to lose. If you're going to have to,
Yeah.
if we win everything, where's the fun? I
Yeah.
mean, like, okay, so if you're the underdog, think like the Phillies 2022 season, the 2022, yeah, like, whoa, I don't feel like a lot of people saw that coming that weren't really like
Yeah.
super into baseball. And
Yeah.
that's the kind of spirit that I love, and that's why I love the Flyers, and I think the fans are like the real ones.
Yeah.
Because those people like you and the people that are maybe watching and other, serious, like people that, I have a friend, Adam, who played ice hockey in college. I had a couple ice hockey player friends in college. My cousin played for Michigan State. I played field hockey. So I've got some chips in my shins from that little violent sport. But yeah, it's in me. It's in my blood. And my cousin, Rusty, his daughter is an incredible ice hockey player. She is amazing. They live up in Portland, Maine, so she gets to play on the ice, like on the lakes. So, yeah, I had a blast at the game. I got my little Gritty. I was really sad. I really wanted to like meet Gritty, but maybe someday in the future. Maybe if I win the contest, But I am excited for this team because they're young,
Yeah.
and I think that they're building something. They're building something,
Yeah.
and so they're building. So like when I think of the Flyers,
To do this, and I'm going to show you the narrative. It's going to be read in AI because if I try to read like a long story, I kind of get out of breath. So for that, I'm going to have an AI voice narrate my Philadelphia Flyers narrative. Without further ado, my Philadelphia Flyers narrative.
Philadelphia, a city with a blue-collar attitude and the city I was born in 1986. Before coming into this world, there was a hockey team capturing the hearts of many citizens of this die-hard sports-crazy city. In 1967, a visionary named Ed Snyder had a brilliant idea to bring the sport of hockey to the city of Philadelphia. Although the team struggled in the beginning, good times were just around the corner. In May of 1974, the Philadelphia Flyers won their first Stanley Cup and ended up having a repeat in 1975. The Flyers tried to go for a third straight Stanley Cup in 1976, but were bested by the Montreal Canadiens. In 1979 to 1980, the Flyers had a huge chance to win the Stanley Cup as the Flyers took on the New York Islanders. Unfortunately, due to a controversial call in a very crucial playoff game ended up costing the Flyers. Although the Flyers forced overtime, a bad offsides goal broke the hearts of the Flyers and many Flyers fans. Many years later, in the 84 to 85 season, a young goaltender, Pelle Lindbergh, who was from Sweden, quickly became a household name and impressed many by making saves that were absolutely mind-blowing. That season, the team was full of rookies eager to impress the Flyers organization. The Flyers had reached the Stanley Cup Finals, and their opponents were the Edmonton Oilers, an absolute juggernaut of a hockey team led by superstar Wayne Gretzky, a man I truly respect. Although the Flyers only won a single game in that series, it looked like the future was bright for the Philadelphia Flyers until one tragic day in November of 1985. The Philadelphia Flyers goaltender Pelle Lindbergh had been in a tragic car accident. Lindbergh was hospitalized and his brain function was completely shut down. The city of Philadelphia was in shock and disbelief. Many Flyers fans thought it was a bad dream, but the reality was that Pelle Lindbergh was in bad shape and, unfortunately, the life support had to be shut down because it wouldn't be fair to keep him alive, and the fact he would no longer be able to play hockey again was just too painful and upsetting. Pelle Lindbergh officially passed away, and the city of Philadelphia was saddened that their hero was gone. American, Canadian, and Swedish flags were held at half-mast at the Spectrum, paying their respect to their masked hero. Many rookies on teams saw Pelle Lindbergh as like a second family member, and it broke their hearts knowing that Pelle was gone. Following this, the Flyers had a hockey game to play. In an ironic twist, their opponent was the Edmonton Oilers, a team they faced in last season's Stanley Cup Finals. The Spectrum had a sellout that night. The Flyers faithful paid their respect to the Swedish sensation. Not just the fans but former Players Hall of Famers, broadcasters like the great Gene Hart, head coach Mike Keenan, public address announcer Lou Nolan, and Pelle Lindbergh's hero and longtime mentor Bernie Parent. In the beginning of the game, the Flyers were down early until an unsung hero named Darren Jensen, a call-up from Hershey, put on an epic performance that had Pelle Lindbergh smiling from heaven. The Flyers rallied behind Darren Jensen and honored Pelle with a victory. In the 85-86 season, the Flyers made the playoffs with a late-season victory over the Washington Capitals. Unfortunately, the Flyers were eliminated in the first round at the hands of the New York Rangers, despite a good showing from Flyers goalie Bob Froese. On December 8, 1986, I was officially born, and my parents were Donna and Chris, and during that time I was just a baby and had no knowledge of the Flyers until I was about 5 or 6. Me and my dad would watch the Flyers on Prism, and I also remember going to my first Philadelphia Flyers game at the Spectrum. My dad loved Flyers hockey just as much as I did and still do today. In 1992, my Aunt Lynn bought me a Philadelphia Flyers VHS called 25 Years of Pride and Tradition, a VHS that taught me everything about Flyers hockey. When I watched that tape, I learned about the legendary goaltender Ron Hextall, who won the Vezina Trophy in his 1986-1987 rookie season, in which his team was so close to hoisting the Stanley Cup. When I was young, I was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. I knew absolutely nothing about it, but when I got older, I learned more about it, and it progressed to the point where I lost my ability to walk. It was tough, but Flyers hockey was there to inspire me. In the 90s, my favorite Flyers were Eric Lindros, John LeClair, Mark Ricci, and Michael Renberg. I was always excited, and I always looked forward to a game, and I loved it. There were many fun times to be a Flyers fan, whether you were born in the 70s, 1980s, the 90s, the 2000s, or the 2010s. There were so many great moments, from the opening to their new arena in 96 to the epic 2010 playoff run and beyond. Being a fan had some ups and downs, but it was worth it. Many years later, my father passed away in 2016, and it felt like a piece of me was gone, and I didn't want to believe he was gone, and I got to the point where I didn't want to be a fan anymore because the loss of my father was too painful, but I know my father would want me to carry on my love for Flyers hockey. I have met so many great fans over the years, and it could take me many days to list all of them, but I want them to know that I love and appreciate them. The most terrifying year of my life was 2017, where I ended up struggling to breathe. My mom tried her best to resuscitate me, but I got to the point where I ended up at Jean's Hospital and then in a facility from 2017 until 2018. I wouldn't have been able to get through it without the prayers of my friends, my family, especially my wonderful mother for getting me home, and I also can't forget about the wonderful staff at Jean's at the facility, and also Philadelphia Flyers hockey. Many years later, the Flyers were in the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs, which was the last time we saw them make the playoffs, and it was during the pandemic. The only times they showed peaks of greatness was in 23-24 and 24-25. I know it's been a long time since the Flyers made a playoff appearance, but the organization is doing everything in its power to make this team better, and I believe they're building something great, and hopefully one day this team will hoist their third Stanley Cup. I love this city. I love my team, and I love being part of this fan base. I would like to dedicate this to my father Christopher Sulak, my wonderful mother, not just her but my whole family and my friends, and of course the wonderful nurses that take care of me, and also Ed Snyder, Oscar Lindblom, Philadelphia Flyers past and in present.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Timmy. Happy birthday to you.
Can I do a speech?
Can you make a wish?
Can I do a speech?
Yeah, go ahead. Speech.
Guys, I'd just like to say, I've been going through a lot of setbacks in my life, and just the fact that everybody's here. I went through a lot in the summer, but it's all been worth it. I get to spend my birthday with all of you. And now we are officially at my next countdown here on the Timmy Flyer here on the Flyersguys Top 10 100th episode. My first countdown, I counted down my top 10 favorite moments on YouTube. And now I'm going to count down my top 10 favorite countdowns. My top 10 favorite countdowns that I've done over the years. And at number 10 on this countdown, my top 10, my favorite type of videos I did on my top 10 series. At number 10, I'm going to go with my food-related episodes. So let's just take a look at those real quick. Alright, here we go. Nostalgia. There we go, wrestling people. I'm trying to look for it here. So we're going to take a look at number 10 on this countdown. Let's see. Here it is. This is my food-related videos that I did on this countdown. For those of you who don't know, I am on a tracheostomy, which means I'm not able to take food by mouth. Unfortunately, I lost my ability to eat after I got a tracheostomy in 2017, and I wanted to talk about all these food-related episodes I've done. There's a video about my top 10 favorite candy over the years, and my top 10 favorite chocolate candy over the years, or my fast food items. I really enjoyed this because even though I can't eat, I still have the memories of some of my favorite things that I enjoyed eating, and this is why I put this at number 10. Because, that was a tough time for me to lose my ability to eat, but it's good to keep the memories alive of all the food you enjoyed, and, it's a good way to be happy. So number 10 had to be my food-related episodes. And then we get into my number 9 pick on this countdown edit. At number 9 on this countdown. At number 9, gotta go with my wrestling-related videos. Now, as you know, I'm not just a huge Philadelphia Flyers fan. Well, I'm also a huge fan of wrestling. And when I did these countdowns, I talked about my favorite NXT superstars, my favorite WWE superstars, my favorite women superstars of NXT and WWE, and most recently one I talked about was my top 10 favorite wrestling rivalries and also my top 10 favorite wrestling DVDs. So at number 9, my wrestling related top 10 videos on this show. Now we get into my number 8 pick on this countdown. And at number 8, I gotta talk about my nostalgia playlist. Now basically this playlist for the Flyersguys top 10 consists of TV shows that I watched, top 10 video games, top 10 TV commercials, top 10 video game commercials, and all kinds of varieties of nostalgia. I really enjoyed this because during these countdowns, it really brought back the memories of my childhood and all the things I was into when I was a child as well. So, at number 8, my nostalgia videos. Now we get into my number 7 pick on this countdown, and at number 7 on this countdown, let me see here, okay. would have to be, let me look at my next countdown here. Would have to be, I would have to go with, I already did my food related videos. I would have to go with, at number 7, I'm going to go with my discussion of the TV show, the UK TV show called Skins. I think around 2023.
Hey everybody,
Around
Flyersguys here, reminding you to check out
around
my back in the day
2023.
episode exclusively
The summer of
on the
2023.
Flyersguys YouTube channel.
Last week, a couple years ago, around 2023, I did some videos about the TV show Skins. In those videos, I had discussions about each series, about each generation of Skins, and it came to my determination that my favorite generation was the first generation of the TV show Skins. I also talked about many different plots in each generation, and many of my favorite characters in the show. So I really enjoyed doing this. Skins was a great show, and a show that I've watched over and over again because I really enjoyed the stories. It was such a great series. Much better than the American version of Skins, which I've never seen before. So at number 8, so hold on a second, let me start again. So at number 8, so at number 10, I started with my food related videos. At number 2, at number 9 I talked about. At number 9 I talked about my favorite wrestling videos, wrestling related videos. Number 7 I talked about nostalgia. Number 8 I talked about nostalgia, and number 7 I talked about Skins. So my next countdown that I enjoyed at number 7 would have to be, let me check this out. We already did 3 related episodes. Would have to be at number 7. My next one would have to be. Alright, we already did my wrestling one. We covered the nostalgia one. But I gotta give love to my awful forms of media. This was my number 7 pick. Well, hold on a second. Yeah, this is my next pick on the countdown. And at number 7, all forms of media. This was a good playlist that I did. This was a great playlist that I did. Where I talked about all different stuff, like my favorite TV shows. So let me go over that again. So I started with the food related videos. Then I went into wrestling related. Hold on. So 10 I did my food videos. 9 wrestling videos. 8 nostalgia. 8 nostalgia, and we did number 7, which was all forms of, which is a video I did. Well, number 7 was all forms of media, and when I did this video, I talked about my many favorite video movies, favorite Saturday Night Live type movies, favorite Netflix shows, and favorite Netflix shows that you should watch on YouTube. So I really enjoyed doing that one as well. And now I'm going to go to my number 6 pick on this countdown. And number 6, hang on, I'm getting to number 6. Okay. And number 6, I have to say, I really enjoyed doing my double countdown episodes on this list. And I enjoyed this because I felt like I enjoyed doing this. So far I only have one video on it in this playlist. But I will be adding another video to this playlist, which will be this video that I'm doing right now. So I enjoyed doing double countdowns because I really thought these double countdown videos, I really thought I could get more content in at once and make the video more entertaining and more appealing to my viewers. So at number 6, my double countdowns playlist. And now we're going to get into the top 5 of this list. And at number 5, that's right, folks. At number 5, here we go, I'm getting to it right now. At number 5, number 5, I really enjoyed doing these countdowns about many beautiful women that I've come across on social media. When it comes to beautiful women you should follow on social media, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I enjoy doing these videos because I gotta tell you, I'm a man and I love the ladies and I love paying my respects, appreciation, and I love showing my love to the many beautiful ladies. So at number 5, my beautiful women countdown episodes. I really enjoy doing these episodes. Now we get into, we have 4 more picks left on this video, and my next pick would have to be at number 4. At number 4 would have to be my Philly stuff countdown. I'm a guy that really loves my city. I've done a lot of videos about Philly. My favorite places in Philly. My beautiful, top 10 hottest ladies in Philly. My top 10 favorite places. My top 10 favorite present day places, and also my top 10 commercials. I have a lot of pride in my city and a lot of love for my city. So, at number 4, my Philly stuff countdowns. And now we get into my last 2 picks on this countdown. I already talked about, and at number 3, do I have a third countdown on here? At number 3, the next one is food related. I already did my discussion videos. Oh, I gotta tell you, I don't really have much time to show you this, but I will say this. I really enjoyed doing my end of the year countdown videos, where I talked about my best and worst moments of each year. I've decided to not talk about the worst parts of these years anymore, and rather focus on the good parts of these videos. So, at number 3, my end of the year videos. And at number 2, I cannot forget about my holiday related videos. Whether it be Christmas videos, Thanksgiving videos, and now coming soon to my channel, some Halloween related top 10 countdowns. I love the holidays. Christmas being one of my favorites. Thanksgiving being a close second. And Halloween being a third. and maybe Easter being 4th or 5th or somewhere along that countdown, but I really enjoyed doing those videos. And my number one favorite countdown videos would be, wasn't it obvious? I am a Flyers fan, so I gotta tell you, at number one, I've enjoyed doing my Philadelphia Flyers top 10 countdowns. I was a little reluctant to do these at first, but I thought, what the heck. It's called the Flyersguys top 10, so why wouldn't I feature some Philadelphia Flyers countdowns on here? So why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I feature that on this playlist? I love the Flyers. I want to see them do well, and hopefully they make the playoffs someday again. It's been a while, but eventually it will happen. Well, that is it for my second countdown here on today's episode of the Flyersguys Top 10, which is a very special episode of the Flyersguys Top 10. This has been my 100th episode. Guys, stay tuned. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna leave you with some of my closing thoughts. So stay tuned. Well, that is officially it here for my 100th episode of the Flyers Guys Top 10. Guys, thank you so much for making this all possible. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to do this video. And even though this is my 100th episode, I still got more episodes to come. Guys, thank you. Have a great day, and like always, it's been a pleasure.